the corn dips.
That's
the
a
bread.
meal? I didn't even want to respond to that. I did not want to respond. A corn
Look.
dip?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the More Motivation podcast. Today, I'm your co-host, Kruti Sandhya, and I'm joined by the founder and president of More Motivation and More Basketball Clinic, Kendrick Moore. How are you doing today?
Man, listen, the turn of the new year, I'm excited. And, you know, I wish Troy was here for this one because he'll have his little knock-knock joke, which is coming up in a few days. So, you know, we ain't going to talk about it, though. You know,
Why?
No,
we're
not talking about it. No, we're not talking about it.
It's a good thing to say.
No.
You know,
So,
knock,
no,
knock,
no,
50th birthday?
no. Hey, watch it. But no, I'm excited, locked in and ready to go.
Awesome. That's great to hear. So everyone, on Wednesday, make sure you send Mr. Moore, Coach Moore, however you call him, birthday wishes. It's a big 50. But with that being said, why don't we get into our shout out for this week?
Yep.
Who are we shouting out? What are we shouting out?
Yeah, so, you know, for most of us here, too, we're actually getting back into the rhythm of school after a couple weeks off. So,
Unfortunately.
Yep. So, you know, a lot of people may say, unfortunately, they enjoyed the break. I know you'll be going back, you know, next week, the middle of next week. But for a lot of us, we talk about opportunity. So coming back right into the beginning of the year, CAS, where I'm the Assistant Director of Equity and Leadership, will be hosting several elementary leadership school conferences across the state, as well as the middle school leadership conference. And a big shout out to Nathan Hellray Middle School, the school that, you know, we work with all the time. Just held their takeover day, but they'll be presenting, once again, middle school students presenting to other middle school students, powerful, at our next middle school leadership conference. So we're locked in and ready to go. So I know we're getting back into school, but we gotta change our frame of reference, frame of mind, and look at opportunity that's coming.
I know, and the first one's tomorrow, literally. So
Yes,
it's right there.
yes,
I have to say, those conferences are very powerful.
Yes.
You guys do a great job of
Yep.
organizing them and bringing the students together. And I know it's a great experience for all the kids involved, even the staff.
For sure.
With that, let's get into last week's podcast that we had to end off the year. Fill in the blank. We had Troy, myself, you all on there answering these questions. And you guys were sending some powerful feedback in the group chat. So what was that feedback? Can you give us a little recap?
Yeah, so it's just about filling the blank, making that transition from 2025 to 2026. It's about being really, really intentional about what you want to do. And that fill in the blank gave the people the opportunity to say, like, man, these are some things that I know held me back in 2025. What are my commitments to changing them? Or what is a standard that I plan on raising in 2026? So we threw out a lot of questions. Several of them, the responses we got back, Kruti, just had to do with, we talk about the power of the people you're around.
Yeah.
Like so many people talked about that, like the people investing too much energy in the people that ain't, and so just, you got to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And one of the comments, actually several of the comments from that podcast, but also just because of a statement I made, but also from a presentation is kind of what we're going to talk about today. So, man, it was that fill in the blank. I'm looking for the consistency though.
Right.
People not just saying it, but actually doing it, not up until the 5th, you know, not up until today. You know, we barely a week into it, but going down the stretch of the month, you know, into April, into June, like what does that look like? So locked in and ready to go.
At More Motivation, we don't have the 3-week New Year's resolution.
No,
we have
not at all. Not at all.
Full year commitment to it.
That's right. Accountability.
You guys would be happy to know I've been going to the gym consistently, like I said in my last one.
She's been locked in. I must say, you know, I must say, sending pictures. She even decided, I told her, she asked me, she said she was sore. She hadn't worked out in a while. The cold bath.
Lord Jesus, I was praying for my life.
Listen, but it's instant remedy. So like, she locked in though.
So we're going to hold each other accountable.
That's right.
That's how we'll do it.
And you too. I know some of you are saying you're going to work out too. So
yes. With that, let's get into what we have for today.
Yeah.
How are we starting off this new year?
Hey, Kruti, as many New Year's resolutions as people make, as much as people want to fill in the blank, they could do that all they want. But the reality is everybody can't go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so no matter what you do, no matter what's going on, like you got to be able to put yourself in prime position to be one of those people because everybody can't go.
I'm excited. This sounds really good. It's going to be really powerful.
Yeah.
So tell us more. What does everybody can't go talk about?
So again, let's just look at it from just an honest and true standpoint. Like the reality in life is everybody doesn't get selected for the thing that they're going after. Like your desire for something doesn't guarantee you that position. It's just a reality. Everybody can't go. And like I said, I threw that out there in one of the last podcasts. I threw it out there actually at the presentation at CCSU. And I made a reference like, man, we talked about this in one of our podcasts. Man, we made the reference in a few of them. Everybody can't go.
Yeah.
It's just a reality. Like, and it's Kruti, here's the deal. I got a lot of feedback from that presentation, the clip that you created and sent out from adults. Like adults, whether they're not necessarily stunned by it, but just, man, it is a reality that everybody can't go. But here's the deal. That ain't something that just started in adulthood. It doesn't just start with, well, you just went through the process, but it doesn't just start with somebody trying to apply to college. It doesn't start with you trying to get a job or trying to get something, you trying to earn a scholarship, you trying to get a promotion. It doesn't just start there. This thing of everybody can't go, that selection process has been a part of everyday life forever. So when people were little, like everybody can't make the team, right? Everybody can't be chosen for that particular role in the school play when you're a second grader. Like it's been a part of the process forever. We try to coddle people, mask it, cover it up with different things, but the reality, if you live long enough, you're going to go through a situation where you're not selected.
Yeah.
Where you're not chosen. Where you're the one that you can't go in the moment. So you just got to understand that, like, it's a natural part of life that we all need to be prepared for.
And like you said, it's like at every stage of your life at different magnitudes.
Yes.
Whether it's your child and not getting selected for a play, as you're getting into the older years, not getting into the colleges you want to, the jobs you apply for, not being able to get that promotion.
Right.
Something in your personal life, like everybody can't go. However, there are times where some people feel very like blindsided. Like they didn't expect it coming at all. The reaction is like, whoa, I should have gotten selected. This is like unfair.
Right.
Why do you think some people feel so blindsided even though they know selection has always existed?
I think there's a couple things that go into that, Kruti. One, we'll look at this really quickly. One, if you're just, I'll say maybe a part of a family structure where you're being protected, like you're being protected from the real world. Your dad owns a company, so you never had to get a real job. Like you're just being protected from the world. So now when it's time to go after something that you really want, you still have this nerves of not understanding to go through the process because you've never had that thing where you haven't been chosen, right? And just like you mentioned, which is a great point that goes along with that, the selection process has been a part of life forever. The difference is when you're younger, they're just low risk.
Right.
It's so important to go through that at the low risk moments. As you get older, the risk just becomes higher. But the process itself, it has never changed throughout the course of time. This is the part that I want to talk about, though, where people act like they're blindsided, Kruti. Like this idea when they started introducing the participation and talking about, like, you made it because you participated. The participation trophy. It just diminished that thing or that part of the process where, no, you have to make something and it's okay to have cuts. Like, it's okay to have cuts. Like, it's okay to, If you got 12 people on the team and 14 people try out, you can't just say, I'm going to just keep the other 2. They got to be able to go through the process. Participation, yeah, it's a part of it, but it's not the solution. All it does is cover up things so when you get older, when you're not around those people and when you're not in those spaces that's going to give you the participation, 1, you're either scared to go show up, or 2, you get completely broken down, AKA blindsided, when you're not the one chosen. So we got to listen. This is a part of life. I just want to keep reiterating that because it's a societal thing that is getting worse and worse today based on, especially with the people that don't understand it and can't deal with it. So just really understand that, like, this is a part of the process. And here's the deal. There is no need to feel blindsided when you understand that.
Right. I feel like the participation trophy part is a big deal because a lot, like this just happened like 2 weeks ago, like Christmas time. I was here and then I also went to my family's and we did the whole thing with the gift cards, right? Like you play games, you win gift cards. And the whole notion of that is like, you have to win the game to get the gift card.
Right.
That's the purpose of this. Not everyone's winning a gift card. And it happened twice. And it was like my aunt and Vanessa, they were both like, yes, you got to select your gift card if you won. But then everyone got a gift card, which again, I love my gift card. Shout out to you guys for giving me my gift cards. But it's like, I didn't win. I shouldn't have gotten that. Like, I don't need a participation trophy. You got to sit there and be like, okay, I didn't win. I didn't get this gift card. And that is a part of the process.
Yes. Yes, it really is.
Additional part to that is like, I feel like your generation is way better at dealing with no's and picking yourself back up and going at it. Because you didn't have participation trophies. If you didn't get on the team or if you weren't MVP, you didn't get a trophy saying, you are part of the team. No, you don't get anything.
Right.
In my generation, we're like so used to redos. We're so used to participation trophies, like certificates about, best cheerleader. It's like everyone expects to make it, and that's why they're blindsided. It's because they've never had to deal with no.
Right.
I know I went on a little digression,
but
going into the next point, like if 10 people want the same spot, what will separate the one who gets the call?
Listen, we talked about this again. I love what we do, Crew T, because it's like we start generating topics and having these discussions, and just naturally down the road, it's always we can just refer back to something we talked about. So when you're asking that question, the first thing that comes to mind is value.
Yeah.
Like to be selected, you got to have value first. Value to what they want. It's not just, I'm valuable, I feel good about it's value to the particular thing you doing. Is there value? And with that value, there's the idea of, does your value solve the problem that they need? Like, are you solving their problem?
Yeah.
You know, whether it's getting into a school, do you solve their problem? Getting the job. It's not that, and this is where people are you qualified or not? That's fine. You might have the skill set, but who's the best at solving my disposition, what I need done? That's the part that we need to get to when we talk about, like, man, how is it do I get chosen? It's about value. We get caught up sometime in just the skill that I have or how good I am and get comfortable with that with people that don't understand value. See, when you're being judged by people that don't understand the value added, but just talent, they make you feel really good about it. Then when you go to the situation and they don't get it, not only are you shocked, they act like they're shocked too.
Right.
Right? But they don't understand, no, that you didn't solve their problem.
Right.
Whatever it is that you're going after, you got to be the solution to the problem. And once you understand that part of it, that's when they circle your name on that paper. When they're looking at those resumes and it's a blind resume, that's when they circle it. That's when you get chosen, when you're the person that solves the problem that they need done.
This goes right back to what you learn in business classes. It's like the successful startups are ones that are solving a problem that a lot of people are facing.
Oh my
Those are
God.
the ones that are going to be those unicorns, those Facebooks of the world.
You're right.
Like, you can't expect to have success if you're not solving the problem of the people
Right.
you're catering to.
Right. Right.
And similarly in like the workforce,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. Like, I by no means do I think I'm like the most talented at
Mm-hmm.
what I want to do. Like, I'm not an expert compared to others.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem that corporate America is facing right now is, are you going to get hardworking people who can actually survive and have the grit for the job?
The grit for it. Yes.
And it's like, I can solve that problem for you. I've been built for that. I may
Mhm.
not be the smartest person,
Mm-hmm.
but I will make sure I know what I'm doing. And that's probably why I was fortunate enough to get a call versus someone who may have been more talented
Right.
than me.
Somehow, some way, they read that when you showed
Yeah.
up. They saw that value, and I'm glad you brought that up, Kruti, because I just want to say this too, because again, it's the value of it that you're showing. So, for instance, like I'm sure, even to get an interview, you showed some level of reliability. The other people did to get the interview. For some reason, they saw like, no, she's going to be reliable. This is high pressure now. We don't just need reliable. We need reliable when the pressure's on.
Right.
In the high stakes moment. She's not just entering the National Honor Society at school. Like where she got to turn in the paper.
Right.
You know, no, the stakes are going up. Like, can I demand a lot out of her?
Mm-hmm.
You got to think, if you earn an interview in a position that you're going after, a lot of the people, you probably can demand a lot. But can I demand it on you when it's showtime?
Right.
Like, how are you going to respond when the pressure's on?
Right.
Like, can you be coached when the pressures, are you going to crack? You know what I'm saying? So those things really, really matter. I'm glad you touched on that, because those things really, really matter, Kruti.
Definitely. And I think that's what it applies to anything that
Yes.
you're doing.
Mhm.
It literally applies to anything.
Yep.
So with that, as we get into our second to last question, when you are not chosen, do you shrink or do you sharpen? And I don't think this is a question of if you are not chosen. I think this is a when. Because it is going to happen. It, like, you may think it's not going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen to me till it happened.
We went through that moment. We lived that moment.
We went through that moment. So
you handled it too. I must say, you handled it like a champ. You handled it professionally.
Well, it's credits to you for getting me to that point. But when you do get to that point, knowing that almost everyone else will face this, what advice do you have for them? Like, how you prepared me? How can these people be prepared for that moment?
So this is where, and just like you said, Crew, it's going to happen at some point. But this is where, when you used to, why are you asking me that? When I'm telling you to dot the I's in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, cross that T. Don't leave that T uncrossed. Like, it's just those little things you handle in a moment. So when you fall, you have the foundation to get back up. Like, I think of Michael Jordan in this case. It hit him as a sophomore in high school. Like, can you imagine that? Like, again, I know he got not you on the team still, cut from his high school team his sophomore year, and he went on to become the greatest player to touch a basketball. Like, how? Like, dot the I's. When I show up, I'm intentional about my work. Like, people, this is what I know. People, when they go through processes, they understand the small details. They understand the data. And when they get rejected, they use that as fuel. They understand that because they dotted the I's and crossed the T's. See, when you don't do that in the process, when you get rejected, this is why some people crumble.
Mm-hmm.
This is why they fall apart. They don't have anything to fall back on. As you mentioned with your situation briefly, you had a strong foundation to fall back on. Yeah, you may have said no. You may not have circled my name, but confidently you able to kind of in your own way say, but I'm built for this. Watch this.
Right.
Without even saying it. It wasn't nothing braggadocious, but in your mind, it's like you have built the grit.
Mhm.
You built the grind. Like you understood, like this might happen. This thing might happen, though I'm 100% calm, but it might happen. There's the possibility. But I know how to handle this thing called rejection because this guy never let me off the hook.
Yeah.
He never let me, he told me things that I'd never heard before. He said I was wrong and I ain't never heard I was wrong.
Sometimes I wasn't wrong, though.
Sometimes you weren't wrong, but that's the environment we created. Why? To see how you were going to handle it. You know, let me see how you're going to handle that part. And even in those moments where you may not have been wrong, you had to rethink.
Mhm.
And you, here's the deal. You didn't just say, I'm right, I don't give. You came back.
Yeah.
You came back even better. Like with a point to prove.
Chip on my shoulder.
With a chip on your shoulder. No, I got a point to prove right now. That's the key. That's the critical part. Because here's the deal. If you live long enough, you will not be chosen in some moments.
I think the biggest thing that I've taken away from what you've said is, and I've said this to some of my mentees at USC, it's like, yes, the processes are going to be tough. Like if you're going for banking, that most of them are. Yes, it's going to be tough. It's going to be challenging. And doubt and being scared is a part of the process.
Yes.
I remember I was scared before opening up my college decision. I don't think I've ever cried that hard in my life. But the thing you need to know and the thing that will bring you peace and allow you to get back up is if you know you gave it everything you had, you gave it 100%, you built that foundation. Even though it will sting, it will be like, okay, I gave it my all. Let me pick myself back up and go to the next thing.
Yep.
Versus if you didn't, you'll be in the spot of only if I had done that.
Right.
And I think that's what helped me is like I knew I did everything in my power. There was nothing more I could have done, and it was a higher power. With that being said, what do you hope listeners take away from today's episode? It's been a powerful one.
Yep.
We've delivered a strong message. What should listeners take away?
I know my man L. I just want to give L a shout out because once you get this thing up and running, he's going to ask for it this morning because he's always locked in and ready to go.
Shout out.
My nephew L in Atlanta. But I think some of the key takeaways from this is really understand that this is a natural part of life.
Yeah.
Like, and don't run from, you can't change nature. It's a part of it. You can't change the seasons. It's a part of life. Like, you can't change that. So when I just say that, don't run from it. Like, if you're not selected, self-assess. Don't point the finger. In this life, there's not enough spots for everybody for everything. It's just not. I don't care how good you are. Here's the deal, because as you start getting higher in rank with anything, all of a sudden the criteria becomes a little harder. You go through sports. Everybody can play youth basketball. Travel, just be in the town. They ain't gonna cut you. They ain't gonna.
I played.
Then you get to middle school team, then the
Yeah.
high school team, then maybe you play Division 3, 2, or 1. Maybe you earn a scholarship. Maybe you become an All-American. Maybe you make professional basketball overseas or in the NBA. Possibly if you're really good, you become a Hall of Famer. But everybody that played travel basketball is not in the Hall of Fame.
There's a funnel.
It's always crowded in there anyway. Can you imagine? There will be no space. Everybody will be shoulder to shoulder, breathing each other's bad breath in each other's face. But it's a part of life. Yeah. We got to understand that. This selection thing, this fact that everybody can't go, it's a natural part of life. The thing is, you got to figure it out. How do you become undeniable? Like, how do you become one of those people that they cannot do without me? Like, they need me not only to make their company better, but to take their company to places they've never. Like, how do you become that person? And that's what you should be striving for each day. So when life happens, when that time happens, you need to be ready. Because if you notice through everybody's process in life, you'll reach this moment where you either ready or you not. You need to be ready when it's time for that selection to be made. That's the thing I really want to leave our audience members with, because the concept that everybody can't go is going nowhere. So lock in.
Thank you so much for that powerful podcast today. I know I'm fired up. I'm going to share this with my mentees so that they can get fired up. And I'm sure all of our listeners are also locked in and ready to dominate this year.
Yep.
This was a great podcast to start off 2026.
Yep.
And we are
and just to let you guys know, you can't see them, but our crew is here. They sleep though. Cassie and Cody, they back here knocked out today.
But with that being said, we hope you all have a great first official week of 2026, and keep on tuning back every week for our episodes each Monday morning.
Locked in.
I just want to thank my son, Kendrick Moore, for dedicating his life to helping our youth. I know it's a tough task, but keep up the good work with Moore Basketball Clinic. I'm proud of the man you have become. I love you.